Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Stay Together. I'm grabbing Adam right now. We had a little bit of an audio glitch, but have no fear. We're joining the show once again. I want to make sure you guys can hear everything that he has to say. So, let's rock and roll again. All right? I'm going to keep my eye out for him. Let's see, Adam. All right, we're trying this again.
Are we back?
We're back. You cut out such a
Woo!
good part of the story. You were like, I'm in Mexico, and I'm like,
Oh man,
wait, I
I
gotta
feel like we
hear.
just lost half our audience. No, man, I'm sweating. I was like, oh, technology, what's
I know
going on?
this world of streaming in a pandemic is crazy,
Yeah.
but whatever
Oh,
happened, we got you back. So,
yeah.
okay,
Cool.
we were
Okay.
talking
Good.
about what attracted you to wanting to be a part of the show to
Yes.
begin with.
Um, it was. I mean, it was one. It was just an audition, and I had no idea what was going to, become of it. We were in season. It was season one. I was in Mexico shooting a beer commercial. Get a call from my manager and agent. And they're like, "Hey, you booked it, so you're now the new love interest on Dynasty. We have no law. We have no idea how long this is going to go on for. So go have fun, and we'll see." So they booked me for like three.
You're back, yeah.
This is happening again? Oh
No, you
wow!
just cut
I
out
don't
for
know.
a
This
minute.
must be my phone. I don't know what's going on.
It's all right. You just cut out for a minute.
So okay. So, after season one, I started auditioning for a lot of other shows because of pilot season. And then I was testing for NYPD Blue, and they made a reboot of that. And it came down to like me and somebody else. So, if I would have gotten it, there's a big chance I would have been on this show anymore because we had no idea. We wanted something a little guaranteed. But then I didn't, and then I got the option to be series regular, and I was like, absolutely. Look, I love the cast. I love the show. The show's so much fun. The cast welcomed me with open arms. Um, it's been one of the best, if not the best, experience of my career so far. So like there was how it started to where it is now is such a crazy road.
Oh yeah, I bet. And Liam is such a fan favorite character. I mean, people go crazy over the role you created. So walk me back for a minute. What was that audition like? Like, did you walk in a room and have to do all sorts of crazy things? How did this
Mhm.
all come to be? How did you become Liam?
It's a great question. Like I said, was in Joshua Tree, got the audition, drove 2.5 hours, was running late, so I was sweating just like I am right now in Los Angeles. And went in, and there's no matter like you get intimidated. Auditions are one of the most intimidating things. You try not to like look at anyone's name or see like who the representation is, but like you sign in, and then you're like, oh, this person's with this person. Oh, I know this guy. Oh, he was on that show that I watch. All right, okay, this is interesting. Um, but like I had a good grasp on like who Liam was or whatever the audition sides were. And it was just really, I watched, a bit of the show, and it was just have fun. Only thing I really remember, Sandy Logan was a casting director, and I messed up. And so I said the F word. And Sandy, if you watch this, I love you. She was like, hey, don't say the F word in this room or you're going to lose points. So as she said that, and I said the F word again, I was like, oh, sorry. Um, okay, wow, I bombed this audition. So the audition felt great. And then I left and I went back to Joshua Tree, and then I was in Mexico, and then they called me and like, you got it. But
Man.
that was it. It was one audition because it was just for a guest spot with possible recurring. That's all it was. So we had no idea. Me and Liz joke about it all the time. Um, yeah, no one had any idea, even the writers, the producers, no one really saw this going this far, especially me. I
Yeah.
was just, you go to work. This was a big opportunity for me. You be professional, and that's all you can do. And then me and Liz really got along, and then people seemed to like me and her chemistry a lot. And 4 seasons later, I'm still here.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're easily a fan favorite of the show, and it's cool because you bring something different, right? Like you play a character who is warm and compassionate and just kind and kind of balances out this larger than life, crazy world that's so over the top, in your surroundings. So what do you love about getting to play Liam?
I love that one. He's not like an original character to the OG Dynasty. So like I've seen a few episodes of the original. Our show's completely different. Like the original was what, in the '80s. Times have changed a little bit since the '80s. There's things that they did back then that aren't very politically correct right now. And we have our own thing. There's a lot of comedy in it. There's some music in it. It can be like a little campy at times. We don't take ourselves too serious, but also taking our job serious. So with playing Liam, I just like that he's different. He's a little bit more of the voice of reason, or like all this crazy stuff that happens around him. He also comes from a crazy family. And I think it was in season 1, and Fallon finds out who I am. I have 4 names or whatever it is. I tell her I left my family to get away from all that craziness. So that's why I feel like I understand her. Like I can relate to everything that is going on in her life. And I'm able to put like how she is sometimes aside, let her be that, but then also give her whatever my advice is to how to handle life or go about situations. And that's kind of it's weird. I mean, look, there's a lot of me, Adam Huber, in Liam, but then there's also not like no matter what, Liam's Liam. But I'm also like my friends call me for advice, or like if they're feeling down, they call me and they're like, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. What are you doing?" And then we just we talk about it. I don't know, but like, yeah, Liam's a lot of fun, and I think this season we dive a lot more into uh, his, I guess, like his upbringing, his past, why he is the way that he is. We're fleshing out more of his character rather than him just being another handbag to Fallon.
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's super cool. And I know people are going to be excited to learn more about kind of your backstory and more about your character in general. And you mentioned that you started on as, a guest spot and quickly became a series regular because people wanted to see more and more of you. So were you at all like intimidated or worried to be joining a reboot as this new original character? Or were you kind of like, hey, this is cool. I'm making it my own. I mean, how did you feel doing, with that balance of both?
Yeah, I think no, I wasn't like the cast. Like I said, season 1, they welcomed me with open arms. It was even after like the first episode, which look doesn't happen that much. Like you get guest stars coming in all the time, day players, whatever it is. But I was very a part of the show from the beginning, like in Fallon's life. So I was around the cast all the time. So that helped make me a lot more comfortable in the show and doing whatever it was that I was doing. And whatever it is that I was doing in seasons 1 and seasons 2, people seem to like. So, which makes me here for season 3 and season 4 and season 5 and season whatever we go after that. So no, I really wasn't too intimidated. I was intimidated from the very beginning because I was never like a part of the show. All my stuff was a handful of Lifetime movies and 1 episode guest spots on a handful of shows. So when you're coming in, you're like, oh, you get rewrites every night. This is what it's like going to set every day. This is what it's like living in a hotel room for 3 months. So that part 100% was intimidating. It's hard not for it to be. And it was nervous. Like if you're not nervous, then there's something wrong.
Right. Yeah, you need healthy nerves.
Yeah, but the cast made it a lot easier to, once, it kind of kept going, and me and Liz talked, she was like, wow, you're here for a long time. Like they like you.
Yeah.
And hearing like some good feedback from the writers and the producers and the directors, I remember, who was it? One of the directors, Jeff Bird. We were in the W season 1, and I was down there after work having a dirty martini on the rocks with some olives. And he sits down next to me and he goes, "Good job today." He goes, "Trust me, you're going to be around for a long time." And this is like my second episode in. And I was like, I don't know, really? Am I really? Because I'm a small town kid from Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. So having it kind of all work out has just really been a dream come true. But having the director say you're going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
In your second episode, it made it a little less intimidating.
Rock on. Good for you, man. That's great. I love hearing stories of success, especially coming from small towns that so many viewers watching now, live in and have dreams of their own, which we're going to get to as well. But,
Sure.
3 great seasons. You're going on to 4. How would you describe Liam's evolution in your mind from when you first hit the screen to now?
Oh, man, it's tough. The hardest, like season 1, every episode I ask the writers, who am I? Because there's also, I think it was my second episode, we're at a funeral for her grandfather, and someone's like, "Hey, Jack." And I'm like, "No, I think you got the wrong person." Because I'm like, but they were also right. So someone recognized me. So I asked her, I was like, "What was that?" And they're like, "We don't know yet." And I was like, all right. I was like, so I kind of had to create my own backstory a little bit. Because you want to add anything that the writers don't already have. So you take what they give you, and you kind of build and create like off after that. I think season 3 and 4 especially, this one we're doing now, I think is when, like I said, he really starts to become a full fleshed out character, and not just like this guy living in the world of the Carrington.
Right.
So I'm really excited. We dive into, my dad and really what happened to my dad. And I start investigating that a little bit. I get a little bit lost of Liam gets a little bit lost of who he is and what he wants in life. And his job. Fallon has her dynasty and she's working on Fallon Unlimited and this and that and this and then and he just kind of feels a little lost in it. In this season, really, he becomes not so lost anymore. But I like, it's been a very slow, gradual evolution of who of his character, because I think we're also still and I think the writers can agree with me. We're still trying to figure it out.
Right.
And it's a soap opera. It's a remake of an old soap opera. So everyone has skeletons in their closet. So every time we get like an episode, we're shooting one episode, and while the writers are writing the next one.
Yep.
So we don't know what's going to happen. So every time I get a new script, there's something new that I find out.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, like season 2, which I liked it a lot, is when we started diving in to like my Uncle Max. And what a crazy character he was, played by C. Thomas Howell, which was so much fun to work with. And then that was very quick, and I wish that we would have went a little bit more into it. I want to see more of Liam's crazy family.
Yeah,
like
cool.
Sharon Lawrence is amazing, and she brings a lot to the table. I just want to see more of it. I mean, personally, because I think there is a lot there that we don't get to see.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much that can be explored, and you've had great moments on the show already. For you, what sticks out? Like, what are some moments for your character where you're like, "Oh man, that was so fun! I'll never forget it. I loved filming that."
I liked filming when Adam burnt down the vineyard, and I get my memory back a little bit. There's there's a plant pot thrown against the wall, and then I pick it up, and I'm like, "It was you." We get in a fight. He falls out the window. I like that episode a lot. Well, I love the episode, I think it was also in season 2, where you see Sharon Lawrence for the first time. And my stepfather, I forget his name in the show. And we play tennis. and then you see just, my interaction, and Fallon tells off my mom, and you're just like, oh, okay, so you get to see a lot more into just what his family's really like, and why
Right.
he said that he ran away from his family, because it's just like, oh man, and you feel bad for the guy. Like, his mom
Yeah.
is so hard on him, like so hard on him. So I really liked filming that one. I loved filming the black and white episode last year, where I proposed to Fallon. The proposal scene was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the first proposal scene when, she proposes to me on the boat, on the paddle boat. I mean, there's honestly so many moments, and there's a lot in season 4 that that are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like season 4 is, season 3 was my first season as a series regular. So I feel like they're really trying to establish more of who this guy is.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of those, look, every episode's fun, and just spending time with the cast is fun, and how we've all become a family, and so those moments are huge, outside of filming. But I think season 4 you're going to see a lot
Nice.
more of like really good episodes. I think
Nice.
this is our best season yet.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty big to say.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, there's, it is Dynasty, so there's glitz and glam and big parties. But we,
Mm.
lived in a world of COVID and tried to film it, which we didn't get shut down at all, knock on wood. It's been amazing. Um, so, the stories have just gotten a lot deeper.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot happening this season. A lot.
Man, a few more days and then people can start finding out. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I think we're all, we're shooting episode 16 right now. Um, And I think we have all the way up like till episode 13 done and ready to go.
Wow.
So I think just week after week, there's going to keep cranking them out.
Oh, good, good. I know people have been waiting. They've been DMing me when I announced you as my guest, saying we want season 4. They're ready for it.
It's hey,
I have to.
it's coming really soon.
Good, good. Now you brought up Fallon a bunch of times, and people love following your relationship with Liz Gillies on the show. And Fallon is just magnetic, and you guys have such great chemistry together. It's really fun to watch and see how it plays out season to season. You guys even have a hashtag, right? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure you know that. Wait, say it.
Fallium.
Fallium.
I think
Fal, it's like
I think that's how it goes.
Fallium. Yeah, Fal plus Liam. Fallium.
Fallium.
Fallium. Sounds Italian. It's like Falli.
Hey, Fallium.
Hey, Fallium. Your fans,
It's
they're great.
pizza,
They love,
pasta,
there we
Fallium.
go. Don't say that's in Italian, but I'll go run to my kitchen and start cooking.
Yeah.
Don't. But you guys, so what is it about your relationship do you think people are so invested in? And how is it following for you as an actor on the show, uncovering that journey with Liz and playing out that relationship together?
Um, so season 1, me and Liz joke about this all the time. I think I said, like, we didn't know, we had no idea. It's like, oh, hey, this guy's here, cool. All right, he comes here to stir up a love triangle between me and Colhane. That's all we know. And then and then it was like one episode, 2 episodes, 3 episodes, 4 episodes, 5 episodes, and then I'm like, you start spending every day with somebody, and then our friendship really started to build. And she's like, oh wow, okay, you're here for a long time. Like, I don't think you're going anywhere anytime soon. And so it was, look, we had great chemistry kind of from the beginning. We got along really well offset. And then we got along well on set, and I think that plays. Liz has turned into one of my best friends. Her and her husband Michael turned into great friends of mine. And yeah, I think that our friendship off the screen really shows also on the screen, and I think that we both kind of understand there's a yin and a yang to each relationship, and it's all about balance.
Yeah.
But like you and so and Liz knows that, like, when Fallon is being crazy, And then when Liam is the voice of reason, and then she has to kind of figure out for herself that Liam has the best intentions for her, and that he's not, because I don't have an ulterior motive to what I'm doing with her family, anything. So I just think we understand, that you need to have a strong relationship on a show. Like all relationships can't be full of drama. Ours is, but like you want to have something that like kids or adults or whatever it is can look up to. Look, when we watch 90210, we watch Melrose Place, Dawson's Creek, the OC, whatever it is, we always cling to a certain relationship, something
Right.
that feels a little real, something that we can relate to, something that we've seen, whether it be like our parents, our sisters, our friends, relationships. And I think that's what Liam is to people. I think
Yeah.
it's a very relatable relationship. They can see, someone has to be the voice of reason in the relationship. Also, but the person who is the voice of reason, he sometimes goes off the deep end, and then she has to talk him off the ledge. So the roles can easily get switched. And it's just been a lot of fun. Look, me and Liz are also very playful. We like to make each other laugh. We joke around a lot, and I think that's helped us a lot with like everything on screen. And the fact that we get along a lot and we've turned really good friends, it just helps it so much more.
Yeah, it's always
And
so
like,
cool.
I really, like I said, this is my first show, so I'm learning so much. And I'll tell Liz, I'm like, hey, you're hilarious. You have this comedic timing that I don't know. I second guess everything I'm doing constantly, every day, 24/7. So I have learned a lot from working with her. And I'll tell her like, hey, if you have like if there's a certain way, if I'm not saying the line correctly, or if you think it's funny or this, please tell me. Because I appreciate, in respect your opinions and your thoughts on what's going on. Because I honestly think, look, the show's great, but Liz really is so talented and so fantastic, and she just her personality flies off the screen. It's hard to take your eyes off of her. Um, and she makes that show. I mean, it's to me it's her show. She's the number one character on it, like her and Blake, and the rest of the Carringtons kind of fall in line. But so she's kind of helped me a lot, not be intimidated, not second guess myself. But yeah, no, she's helped me a lot to just help our relationship on the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing to have when you work with somebody so closely and intimately on screen, and then off screen you have a really deep, not only respect, but a true friendship. I think
Yeah,
you can tell when you watch people and you can realize, oh, they're really, really cool off screen too, you know?
yeah, and it's not making a TV show, making a movie, whatever it is. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's not one person, one whatever it is. It's a complete team effort, and I think we're just a really good team.
Yeah, for sure. No, people, the amount of comments I received about the two of you together and how much joy that brings people to
I mean,
watch you
look,
guys.
people want us to see us together in real life. Liz is very happily married to an amazing guy, and they're supposed to be together. And they both turned to huge, great friends of mine. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's an awesome thing. That's all you can want, right?
yeah,
So,
exactly.
season 4, you've talked a little bit about already, and I know you
Sure.
can't say too much, but what
Yeah.
would you say you're most excited for in terms of your character?
Um, his career. He's a writer, and I think he's gotten a little lost of what he wants to write about or what drives him. So he starts to become an investigative journalist,
Ah,
and he gets himself into some trouble. And his he starts finding things out about his dad
hmm.
and what his dad passed away. How did his dad pass away? So it comes out that it wasn't just like a bad accident, that something went down, something happened, which then I get me and Fallon both into some trouble, and then we kind of get out of that trouble, but then there's new trouble brewing after that's kind of over. you know, and also, look, we can't have a perfect relationship. So me and her relationship is going to get put through the blender a little bit.
Mm.
You can't have a perfect first year of marriage. It doesn't exist. Not in a dynasty Carrington, you know, world. Um, so it's going to be, we're kind of approaching that part right now. So it's going to be really exciting to see what they do with me and her relationship going forward, whether
Mm.
it stays or whether it doesn't.
Oh man, I mean, a lot of people are rooting for you, so don't break hearts now. Come
No,
on,
no. Look, I think that I think Falium is going to be endgame. It, you know, when the show's all said and done. But you know, every relationship has their problems and their woes, and so I'm really interested to see kind of what they do with that. And yeah, my career and kind of, you know, and how they really manage marriage life.
yeah, yeah, cool, man. That was a good tease. I know a lot of
Uh,
us are looking forward to that.
yeah,
Let me get to a few fan questions. Now,
yeah,
these were
so
the most popular ones I received, so I
okay,
kind of grouped them together.
okay.
The first one is number one similarity and biggest difference between you and your character.
Um, Similarity is the, I'm going to say it like the advice, um, the voice of reason. Uh, Biggest difference is if I'm sorry, I hate to, if I was Liam, I would not put up with half of the shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would not, I would not. Oof. It's too much. It's too much. Too much. I don't want to marry the Kardashians.
Right.
I don't want to live in that world. Um, I don't like I'm not in the glitz and glam and all this money talk, and it's, yeah. I think Liam has a lot more patience, to kind of deal with Fallon and what's going on. Um, Me, because like there's been times where, you know, it feels like he's trying so hard to
Mm.
like like, you know, and she's just like especially with like the whole Cole Haynes is like season 2. If I would not if I would not be trying to break up somebody else's relationship. Never. If you're with a guy, you're with a guy. I would never do that. To
Right.
me, it's a little sleazy. It's like, damn, he just swooped in and you know, Mr. Steal Your Girl. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't do that. And then he also puts up with a lot and the stuff with Colhane. Me, no. I don't want any of that drama. I don't want any part of that. I would have been out the door a long, if it, I'm like, oh, wow, you're married? Oh, geez. Okay, no, I'm done.
Yeah. You're like, let me live in peace, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool. Number two, what was the most surprising turn of events that has happened to Liam so far in your eyes?
Surprising turn of events. Oh, man. Um, what is the most surprising?
Like, did you read anything where like, whoa, I didn't see that coming from my character?
I Yeah, look, I'm surprised I'm still here.
That's a good one.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that Liam has stuck around this long. And I'm surprised that me and Fallon after this, I'm surprised we're getting married. I think that's a huge turn of events. Like that she went from being engaged to this dude, and Lee wouldn't let his love, you know, like, I love this woman, I have to be with her, there's something there, I know I'm not like misreading this connection. The fact that Fallon broke up with Colhane, we got engaged, and then we get married, I think it's a huge turn of events.
Yeah.
um and then season 4 something happens, which is also another turn of event, which I can't really say.
All right. To
So
be
yeah,
continued on that.
to be continued a little bit on that.
All
Yeah,
right. All right, cool. I like that. Dropping little breadcrumbs for us. I respect it. I like it.
yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, for that, I would just say that the fact that we're getting married, and like through all the stuff that they've gone through, and now this is where they're going, because this is a new chapter.
Yeah, for sure. That brings me to my next question. A lot of people wondering if you enjoyed filming the wedding episode.
I did. Look, I think, her wedding with Jeff Colby in season one, where I come in, she's like, "This is Liam, my husband." That wedding was beautiful. Like, you watch and you're like, "That's what I want." The Sammy Joe, um, oh my God, when Sammy Joe married Steven. That wedding was beautiful. We didn't live in a world of COVID then.
Right.
We can only have so many extras on set this year. We can only have so many people around. So as much as I want to say we have some huge, massive, extravagant wedding, it was kind of hard to do.
Got it.
So it takes a little turn of events, and I think people are gonna be either people are gonna love it or they're gonna want that huge whatever. Look, of course, it's a Carrington wedding. Something is gonna happen. Someone's gonna try to sabotage it. Someone's gonna try to ruin it. Someone's gonna try to break it up, or something's gonna happen where someone else takes the spotlight or whatever it is. So I think people are gonna. I think people are gonna like what happens in the wedding. She sings me a song. I almost start to cry. It's so sweet watching Liz perform at any time sing. There's no acting required. She's just so talented. Her voice is beautiful, and you sit there and watch. And her husband, wrote the song for the show that she sings, and it's really beautiful. It's a very lovely. I know some of the producers said that they got all like choked up and teary eyed when they watched it. So I think it's different. It's very, very different than any other. But our relationship has been different than anyone else's on the show. So it's a
Right.
little bit different of a wedding, but it's very pretty and it's fun.
Okay, cool. Well, people look forward to seeing that. And you kind of led to the next fan question, which is, will you ever sing in an upcoming season?
Oh man, so Liz and her husband Michael have they wrote a song for me to sing. Um, I know they want me to do it really bad. And eventually I will lay it down and see what my vocal range is.
All
Uh,
right.
I just don't, maybe season five. I don't think anything's going to happen in season four. You kind of see me sing a little bit season four, but it's not real singing. It's, I don't know, I'm just singing along to something. Um, so yeah, look, I'm down for the challenge for anything. So whether it's learning how to play the guitar, which I don't do, or singing, I think season five is when that might happen.
Nice, man. Lots of exciting things. Okay, the last fan question that blew up my inbox. Now, this might be a question you can't answer, but I'm going to ask it.
All right.
Um, what are the chances your fans might see a baby in the future? Is this something that
You
you
know
would
what?
want?
I don't know. It really depends on where it happens to our relationship. It was so funny. I was thinking about this earlier today when I was reading my stuff for the next episode. Um, it depends on what happens with Liam and Fallon. Uh, that's something that's completely up in the air. I don't think even the writer. I don't think anyone's mind is there. Whether I mean, we're on 16. There's no talk of a baby so far. So I don't know. If they stick together, I would love for them to, Fallon going through pregnancy, them raising a kid. I know people kind of really loved, the whole Connor stuff. And it showed a side of us and a side of Fallon that they were like, oh, wow, this is interesting. This is new. What is this? Um, so I don't really know because I also thought of a way to, let's say they do have a kid. The kid comes out and it's not mine.
Oh,
I mean, look, that's just like TV stuff or
right.
soap
Anything could
opera or
happen.
whatever. I don't know. So I really have no idea. I'm not hiding anything. As of now, I don't think there's been any talk about that. We'll see what season five has to offer. Let's see where their relationship goes. But if everything pans out well, I think it'd be interesting to see like in the later seasons as kind of the show starts to, because working with kids is tough. They can only be on set for so long.
Right.
Um, so there's constraints there with filming with children and babies that's kind of hard to do. So if we don't have a kid, I completely understand. If they try to mix something in there where we do, I don't know. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, man, to be continued. You never know. I just
Yeah.
found it interesting. That question was like everywhere in
Well,
my
I
inbox.
think people really liked the Cole Connor stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God, if they're getting married, what happens after you get married? You have a kid. And I think people would love to see them as parents. And going back to another question you said, um, similarities, differences, me and Liam. Liam says, I think in season 3, he's like, I don't want kids. But then I think that he's never really been like, he really looked up to his dad. And I think that, like, me personally, I didn't realize I wanted kids until a little bit ago. And like, and I see like I've, like some little niece and nephews, and I can't wait to be a dad. Not gonna happen anytime soon. I have a career and stuff. I want to be financially and mentally ready for that part to happen. But he was like, I don't want to have kids, and I think me personally, I can't wait because I've heard from so many people there's nothing better. Like once you have a kid, everything changes.
That's awesome, man. I love that. Yeah, I have a niece and nephew, pretty new, 2 and 6 months, and it's been awesome. It's just like it changes your life, you
Yeah,
know?
it's great. Like they're what, 6 and 4 and just over 1. And it's just so much fun, and all just watching my sister, my brother-in-law, go through it, and how these kids, like, they look up. It's just it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, like, found Liam doesn't want kids. I 100% do.
There you go. There you go. The future, it will happen. And earlier you said, I love your story because you say you're from a small town, Pennsylvania,
Sure.
and your wildest dreams are happening right before your very eyes. And I can relate to that. I'm a small town Jersey, East Coast boy too.
Cool.
And it's cool to see what you worked so hard for actually starting to happen. And I know you have a lot of younger fans as well, but for fans of any age, really, what piece of advice do you have about going after your dreams and trying to achieve them, no matter how far out of reach they may seem?
Um, you got to be resilient in anything you do. If you want something that bad, you have to stick it out. Michael Jordan, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Um, Never give up. Never let somebody tell you that you can't do something. Never let somebody tell you no. Like, I've heard so many no's in this business, but that didn't do any. Every no you hear just makes your skin a little thicker, and makes you more resilient, to those yeses. So my advice is just never give up. If whatever you want, and look, we have one life that we live that we know of so far. Go after it. Don't stop. Like, things take time. Sorry, I lost track of what else. Things take time. There was an actor who's on Bloodline, Jamie McShane, who I was at a barber shop, and I was like, oh my God, that's Jamie McShane. He's amazing. I love that guy. And I texted my girlfriend at the time. I was like, I think Jamie McShane is sitting next to me. And she goes, go tell me you like his work. And I was like, no, I don't know. I'm nervous. She said, go tell me you like his work. So went over. I was like, hey, loved your work. He's like, oh, sit down. What do you do? I was like, I'm an actor. He's like, where are you working? I was like, I'm on a reboot of a show called Nice. He's like, oh yeah, like the original. Great, love that. And we started talking, and he was like, oh, it seems like you got everything going. And we started talking about him, and it took him like 10 years to get a manager, another 10 years to get an agent, another 10 years to even be making a living at it. That's 30 years. And he's, a prime example of never give up. Never, never, never give up on whatever it is that you want to do with your life. And if you could see yourself doing anything, something else, then go do that. But if you have your mind set on, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an actor, you want to be a singer, try your hardest, because even if it doesn't pan out the way you want it to, the worst thing is looking back and having regrets. I didn't want to be 40 years old, and look back and have, and be like, shit, what if I would have tried something else? What if I would have tried a dream that is not, that, out of a small town, like something that's not possible? So I didn't want to work for the 5 rich family companies in my little town. You know, so I didn't want to look back and have any what ifs or any regrets of not trying something. So I always just say, just go for it. What's the worst that can happen?
Very true, my man. Go for it. Advice we all should remember, no matter what stage of our lives we're in. Go for it. I love it. And before I let you go, to all your fans who are tuned in today, who have stood by your side and cheering you on, and can't wait for the new season, what do you want to say to everybody?
Thank you all. I love and appreciate all of you so much. Look, without you guys, Liam probably wouldn't still be on the show. You guys have taken a liking to me, and I've taken a liking to you. You know, and thanks for sticking with me through this whole time and being fans of my work. And you know, I think this is really just the beginning. And I can't wait to see what happens in Dynasty, but I can't wait to see what happens after Dynasty. And I hope that they follow me and the rest of my career wherever it goes after this. But just thank you. And I appreciate, you know, all the love and support that you guys give me. They've seen me. There's times on Twitter where I've had a bad day and you tweet something and then you just have haters just going after you. But then you have all the other fans that love and support you, sticking up for you. And it really it truly means the world to me to have all of them.
Yeah, well, they're by your side. They're ready to watch you continue to grow in your career. I certainly am too. Your future is so bright, man, and
Thanks,
it's a
man.
pleasure getting to hang out and chat. And hopefully,
Yeah, absolutely. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
oh, I'm so happy to have you on, and I hope to interview you in person once things calm down a little bit more out
We'll
there.
do it. We'll do it. We'll
All right,
break some
cool.
bread. We'll have a glass of wine, and we'll chit chat.
I love it, my man. Be well. Congrats on
You
the
too.
season 4 premiere this
Thank
Friday, May 7th. We'll be tuning in.
Thank you, man.
All right, take
All
care.
right. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.